Blue Lock Chapter 354 has just released. England versus Japan is about to start as a Blue Lock starting 11 gets revealed as well. Ego hypes up the boys for the game, and Isagi also has a great speech, which is damn near making me emotional. It's finally time, y'all. This is one of the most interesting chapters. A lot of people are talking about the formation, so let's not waste any more time and jump into it quick. The chapter picks up with Terry Asa, the announcer, excited, saying it's time for the final match of U20 World Cup's Group A. The future of Japanese football is riding on this fateful match. We then see Japanese fans cheering as well as English fans cheering, and then a view of the whole stadium with both flags being shown. Get hype, y'all. The final group stage match that decides everything is about to begin. The announcers continue that the decisive battle is at the Blue Lock Stadium, the weather is perfectly clear, and Japan's opponent is the formidable England, the birthplace of football. All right, folks, are we, yes, we winning this game and making it past the group stage? Or is it coming home and the Blue Lock manga ends here? The announcers remind us the winner will secure advancement to the knockout stages and remind us again that Japan and England are equal on points, but lower in goal difference, so even a draw won't be enough. Blue Lock has to win. Terry Asa says it's finally here to Natsuki, and he jumps in saying, yeah, the final match day, it's really here. The stands are completely full too. They've got to get fired up themselves. And that's when we see Japan starting 11 finally revealed, and what the hell? It is completely different. Shido by himself as a striker, Zantetsu unexpectedly on the right wing, Yukimiya playing for the first time as well on the left, and whoa, is that Kiora Jin? Literally, who could have predicted this? France messed us up so bad. We went back to the damn drawing board putting in new guys. Let's go through these choices one by one though. Rin's replacement is Shido, which is a rare moment in history. Shido starting with a Shido-based formation. I just know the Shido fans are elated, smiling ear to ear seeing this. Barou not starting once again, even though he scored in the last game. I assume it's because he got his shine already, but I expected at least an appearance in the starting lineup and then getting subbed off, but oh well. Zantetsu starting, what a delight, man. I've been saying how underrated he is since the beginning of this channel. Little Hiryo was preaching about this. I'm excited. Me and Zan are about to go crazy. That's Zantetsu for the people who aren't close to him, by the way, but interesting to note, he is on the right side, the side of his golden zone. Imagine we see a Zantetsu goal. Yukimiya, we all knew he was going to be playing this game since he was the best of the remaining players and had the most development. I know there are some diehard fans for bro, so I'm happy for y'all. As long as he helps the team, we are all happy too. I'm sure he'll score a goal as well. And of course, Kiora Jin, which gotta be the most random pick in the starting lineup. What was the thought process behind this, Ego? Is he gonna have a dance-off with Teddy? This Disney matchup? I've truly seen it all with this manga. On a real note, benching the others in favor of Kiora is pretty interesting. I expected Kiora to play. I had him in my formation video, but I didn't expect him to start. Him being here pretty much confirms he'll do something. As long as we see episode Nagi Kiora and an assist like the one he did for Kaiser, we'll be fine. Because besides that assist during PXG, he was cooking up the Mbappe special. The formation is the most important part of this chapter though. Aiku and Aru as center backs and Reo as a right back. I also predicted this in my starting 11. It's most likely because we need Aru's height and Reo's copy hasn't been used for defense in the World Cup so far. Karasu Hiyori playing to nobody's surprise, and Isagi in the midfield. He's most likely going to be building up plays since we're swapping away from the Isagi center system. Now they say 4-1-4-1, which traditionally is a counter-attack formation, and with the speedy players here like Yukimiya, Zantetsu, and Shido, it could work. Only time will tell. Jumping back into the chapter, Natsuki points out that they've changed things completely from the France match, and Terry also reminds us that Rin has been left out, asking for his opinion on the lineup around Shido. He smiles and says in the previous match, their attack had hit a wall, so maybe they're hoping for an unforeseen explosive power with the double wingers and making things interesting. We see more Japanese fans getting hype. One of them has a drum, others are jumping up in excitement, and don't y'all dare say this is me with the Rin jersey. I'm not playing around. Terry Asa tells us that a loss means elimination for England too, and with both teams against the wall, which side will advance to the knockouts? We see the scoreboard for England and Japan, with him telling us kickoff is moments away. I'm super excited, y'all, but before the game starts, we jump over over to the Japan locker room where Ego is standing in front of everyone, telling them, are they ready? They've done everything they possibly could. All that remains is to win. Kiora, Gagamaru, Aryu, and Aiku are getting ready as Ego continues telling them, do not forget, things like there was meaning in working hard to make it this far, or even if they lose here, this will be an irreplaceable experience in their lives, are just petty words and nothing more than consolation for losers. He only wants results. Ego still got that bandage on after a week. I just know he regrets smashing that monitor, and the rest of the starters are getting ready as Ego spreads his arms out and tells them throw away the successes of their past selves. Anyone who can't shine here and now is worthless. BLUELOCK is not here to create memories, they're here to make history. Damn, man. Even if you don't agree with Ego, you gotta admit he is one hell of a motivator. I feel like I'm gearing up to get ready to play. Airwind speech coming from Ego. He tells the BLUELOCKers during the match, if the worst possible ending called defeat happens or something negative crosses their minds, blame it all on him. The greatest evil is becoming terrified of defeat, allowing their thoughts to stop. He will take full responsibility. Isagi looks on, and Honri looks serious too as Ego continues saying, engrave this in your hearts. Success belongs to them, and failure belongs to him. No matter what happens, keep moving forward towards the world, egotistically pursuing their own goals until the very last second. I also find it funny that Ego still wears his watch on top of the bandage. He has to flex no matter the occasion, even if he's injured. Ego for sure got the BLUELOCK Seiko watch on him. But then Ego yells once again, telling the BLUELOCKers, let's go. Unleash their hunger for the world as the boys scream out, getting ready for the match that settles it all. And this is getting me so hyped, man. A great speech for what possibly could be the end. Granted, we all know they're gonna make it through because of plot, but you get the point. We see the new starting 11 and make their way towards the stadium. Aiku tells Karasu when they switch between attacking and defending, be conscious of his positioning. And Karasu says he'll leave the last line of defense to him, captain. Yeah, Aiku gotta save at least a goal here because his PR is down the drain after the France game and getting cooked by Teddy. Please, bro, we need you to lock in. Yukimiya tells Zantatsu, let's go wild, and he responds saying, okay, a double glasses attack, which is cool to finally see them get their shine. Isagi, stretching, thinks about how BLUELOCK is the super dark horse, and the reason why he told everyone was that he wanted to link everyone's ego with his ego idiosyncrasy, the rebel who devours the number one so that he can become the center of the team. We continue to get a pretty long Isagi yap session with him saying they've continued to sharpen their egos up until now, but every time it sharpens, the more its evolution and direction becomes unique and separate from the others. It's only natural that happens, but because of it, directly linking one ego with another is difficult. So the effective option is a common goal. If two individuals cannot cooperate directly, they can still move together if they share the same objective. They've experienced that throughout their battles up until this point, as we see a diagram of pentagons not being able to work together, but they can work together if they have a common goal. He explains that the greater number of people, the more necessary a major objective that links everyone's purposes becomes, showing a diagram for that too. Then all the BLUELOCK starting 11 icons are going towards a puzzle piece called the Super Dark Horse, with Isagi saying that's precisely why the major objective of Super Dark Horse will be the engine that unites BLUELOCK as a single fighting group, driving them towards this great challenge. Gagamaru says, let's do this, and Kiora says that he'll find a path to victory, as Isagi continues to dialogue, saying the team's mindset has been unified. So the question is, how does he as a rebel score his own goal? He thinks back of the France game, saying since that loss, he's felt frustration, despair, and an acceptance of defeat, something he hasn't felt in a while. And this damn rage bait emote from Hugo is still in Isagi's head. Swear he thought about this at another time too. I won't hold him though, I'd still be thinking about it if Hugo did me dirty like that. Isagi reflects, saying up until now, whenever he brought the match into a battle of luck as he intended, he had won 100% of the time, showing the U20 goal and the second PXG goal, but yet the result was failure during Rin and Isagi's shot, so it proves that the person he is now is still not enough to become the best in the world. And that's when we see a feather falling down with Isagi saying if there is a god of football, then he is surely being tested. I can't believe it, y'all. The first God of Football appearance since Ego mentioned it. I didn't expect it to come so soon. If anything, I would have expected it in like the finals or against a Germany, but I'm not complaining because that's low-key one of the most interesting plot points we haven't figured out yet, and it may even mean more Ego development. Following it up, we see Isagi moving forward with all the puzzle pieces around him, and yo, this is beautiful. This is the type of panel you show your grandkids. Somehow, when I think the art can't get any better, they outdo themselves once again. Call me a glazer, I don't care. Glaze will be tolerated here. The puzzle pieces are celebrations of his goals throughout the series, even all the way back in the first selection, reflecting on how far he's come. Can Isagi Yoichi still become someone new? His ego is being tested. Isagi, with his aura eyes appearing, says, "Who do you think I am?" And nah, Isagi is about to be on timing this game. I can't wait to see it. Put those words into actions, my boy. The last page, Isagi walks out to the full stadium as we see the God of Football feathers appear once again. I got a good feeling this will be very important this match. He says, like hell, he'll let it end while he's still in the middle of his dream. And at the bottom of the page, we see the timer has hit 0, marking the beginning of the England game as the chapter ends off on a cliffhanger for the start of the match that decides it all. As you can see, we didn't get England's formation. Kaneshiro was just teasing us, showing us a little bit, but not the whole thing. We got BLUELOCK's formation, but not England's. So whether or not Agi is a player for England, who the hell is Fox? Is he a player or a coach, or what position does he play? And what kind of formation England will be running is a question left for another day. But even then, this chapter gave us a lot to talk about. Firstly, I enjoyed Ego's and Isagi's speeches, but I think the most important aspect has to be the formation. Now, on paper, it isn't necessarily bad. They have a lot of counterattack potential with this formation, but if you've been reading BLUELOCK for a while, you know formations literally go out the window. They don't matter. Isagi during the NEL was all over the place. This formation could technically be a 4-3-3-2 just off player positions. Let's talk about the players starting with the bench. Everyone was treating a Barou, Chigiri, and Batra like Patrick on No SpongeBob Day. They were celebrating him getting benched, which is kind of crazy to me. I guess if you see your GOAT Yukimiya, Zantetsu, Shido, or Hiyora playing, you're gonna be making fun of the people that have been saying they're not gonna play. I don't even know. I truly don't think anyone could have predicted this formation, so let's not talk about what this formation could be, and instead focus on what we have right now. Yukimiya and Kiora Jin are on BLUELOCK's left side, so they're facing off against England's right side, and even though it hasn't been confirmed because we haven't seen England's formation, I've said it before, Teddy will most likely be on the right side playing as a right wing back. During my stream, my brain wasn't working, so originally I thought we were gonna get a Rayo and Teddy matchup since they're both on the right, but this makes a lot of sense, especially if Agi does play as a forward and is a left forward. Again, in my England theory video, I explained why he's most likely going to be playing as a left forward, and with Rayo being here, we will be seeing Agi versus Rayo, calling back to Manshine and settling their beef since they didn't have the most positive interactions, and that's putting it lightly. I like this a lot. Kiora and Yukimiya, both good at dribbling, both good at breakdancing, which I guess Teddy specializes in, and Agi and Rayo having their beef from before, so those matchups make a lot of sense to me. Shido as the sole striker will most likely get a goal. Yukimiya, I think, will get a goal too. Those are pretty obvious. It's interesting to see Zantetsu is on the right side with his golden zone, so you can even count that as a possibility. Next chapter, though, we're finally gonna see the England game start, the England team, and the kickoff. It's also titled 1 to Infinity, so a very interesting chapter name. Unfortunately, as of the information we have right now, we are apparently on a break week, but they also said that last week for this week, but this week wasn't a break week. Take a shot for how many times I said week. So take it with a grain of salt. We might be getting the next chapter in 2 weeks from now, or they could be wrong again and we get it next week. I'm not complaining either way. One, they definitely deserve the break for how much they've been cooking recently, and two, I feel like this was the worst chapter to be on a break with since I want to see England's formation. Whenever we do get this next chapter, though, I already know it's going to be peak. I'm just imagining we see the panel of the England players just like the Nigeria team reveal, and getting to see all the new players designed too. That's some of the most exciting parts of BLUELOCK. For this break week, though, I might make a video on my England game predictions with this new starting 11, or like matchups we have now, talking about the potential Teddy versus Yukimiya and Kiora matchup, as well as the potential Agi versus Rayo matchup, and maybe even Fox if he's a player. But for now, that about wraps it up for this video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching as always. YouTube really thinks you'd like this video right here, so be sure to check that one out too. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.